Hello, YouTube. Welcome to Hakmed Gaming. I am Hakmed. We are here with some auto ore. Exciting day. We get to finally roll for some new equipment. And we got the fuel tank for here. So that's good news. Let's see here. First and foremost, let's get our debuff out of the way and see if we're going to be held back at all. All right. That's not a huge deal. We got a loader. So no excavator today. But we do have all our new equipment for getting into tier 3. So we have chance for our dozer, grader, stuff like that, and we're gonna get an excavator. Awesome. You might be able to see I did, like, I had the rock trucks with the tailgate without separated. I had the 2-wheel drive and the 4-wheel drive truck separated. I just put them together. Like I said, last tier it took so many episodes to finally get everything, and while I'm okay with that personally, I just want a little more, try to get a little more progression as we go, and I felt like kind of going slow, so I just kind of put that stuff together. But at least we have that done. All right, so first and foremost, most importantly, I think we need to get some new pylons. I learned, whatever, that I didn't pay attention to the kilowatts going into it. I don't know how they worked before. Because this guy's 1600 and I had it running and it was working and it wasn't blowing. So I don't know if something changed in one of the updates. So we need to get some of those. We definitely need to get our fuel container over here. And then I want to look at something here because, so we have the 20E now. So what we're holding, 30.1 yards. And these are what we'll be able to unlock. So not terrible. About another scoop. Loaders. Those we're going to be unlocking these two, which are what, 9.5. They're both 9.5. I don't know what is the difference between these two. I see the weight and the horsepower. This one's 518 horsepower, and this one's 449. This one weighs more, has more horsepower, same bucket, but it's 78,000 compared to this one that's 198. And I don't know, maybe I'm missing something. I don't understand why that is that way. And it might be something totally stupid that I'm just missing. Is it because this is brand new looking and this looks a little used? Like, I don't know. I don't understand it. And it's a couple, like, I think there's some excavators like that too. Right? Maybe not. I can't remember. But what do we got? So we got, I think we got this guy, right? The 2.1. We'll be able to unlock these. Okay, so that's almost double. So that's definitely not bad. How about the attachments? Gradient bucket 2.3, standard bucket 2.4, wrenching 1. Might be nice for the ditches. Ripper, yeah, I guess the ripper does come in handy for stone, right? So yeah, I don't know. I don't understand the purpose of some of this stuff. But either way, we're on. So let's head into town. Let's take some stuff with us to sell. Is that all we had was aluminum? I feel like we had some lithium, maybe not. All right, so let's just take that. We already have enough money. We can't buy anything new today. At least we didn't unlock anything worth it. So let's go get our fuel tank. Because that'll be huge. Absolutely huge to have here now. That will save us so much time, money. Haven't quite figured out how I'm gonna do the fuel shortage yet. I really wish that the fuel tank had to be filled up. And I'm sure that's assuming they're gonna come down the road, right? Whoa, what's up, baby? I assume that's got to be coming down the road at some point. I know the dev blog talked about the tanker truck actually having a separate fuel gauge, so it actually, you know, can have the tank and its own fuel tank for its driving ability. But I really want to see that the fuel tank we're about to go buy have that option. I'd like it to run out where we have to go to the gas station to get it. Right now, I understand the problem with that is, like, this map only has a gas station because I put it there. So you're either going to have to create your own fuel or maybe be able to buy an unlimited one and an empty one that you can fill. That way you can kind of make your own gas station to fill it with if you choose to play that way. I can't really think of how else to do it unless they change the maps around and add, you know, like little towns or something to them, which maybe that'll happen. Maybe it won't. Again, I don't think that helps us on these big maps because that would kind of force you to build or do your mine close-ish to the gas station. All right. Boom. That is ours. Let's move that one. This one's got to go in the thing. Can I sell those guys? Oh yeah, $11. Let's go. Build, no. Factory. Power. Get rid of the fuel. Power. We might as well go with like 2 and 2 of those. Just so we have some, but I don't think we need a bunch right now. I don't want to drain too much because we're going to get a dozer quick and or a grader. That'll make life a lot easier for what we need to do. Let's see. What else do we want? What else do we need while we're here? We're going to need more conveyors, but I don't know what we need yet. Even after I know what we need, I'm not going to know what we need. Don't really need any decorations. Can't buy any of that stuff. Yeah, can't think of anything else that we need. And I'm sure I'm gonna pay for that. Okay. Oh, I guess while we're here, let's throw that guy there. Don't need that. And switch that out with that. All right, let's get back to the mine. Figure out what we want to do today. So as soon as we get a dozer, or the I think we need the dozer first. The grader we could probably at least start down there. Once we get here, though, we're gonna need that dozer, and probably, like I said, probably cut through that side of the mountain, maybe that side of the mountain. Either way. But as soon as we get that dozer, we're gonna we're going to get this road here all complete. No more bumpy roads or anything like that. Get that completed. The ditches now have moved to this tier. Like I said, wasn't like some huge thing to try to, let's get to tier 3 real quick, because we spent a lot of time in tier 2. It was just, like I said, it didn't make sense. I'm going to build all these ditches, but I still got to dig out the road. Still got to level it, and the ditches just need to be rebuilt. So that kind of backwards, right? Like, I don't think you're going to build a ditch on a road. You build a road, then a ditch. Then we'll have to start working on getting to tier 4. Like I said, I want to get to that bigger equipment. I want to start moving a lot more dirt. But we still have to prep here. But so we have to get to the next tier. We have quite a few lists of some things we have to do. We have to get a dirt road to all the towers that we built, all those guys. So what, one there, one over there, and one over there. I think we got 3. We have to get the road built from here to the town. Remember, this road over here wasn't any requirement per se. That was, we had one that would shut down this road. So we built a second one anyway. We have to build a asphalt plant in town. And I'd like to get concrete to build that. That way we don't have to rip it down or make it out of wood, because that just doesn't seem right. So, all right, let's get our fuel tank down here. And we're gonna have to, hope this works out decent. It is not. Pick that up. Let's pick that up. That. We'll leave those there. Try to zoom this in a little bit more. Doesn't quite do what I want. I really want different pivot points on this stuff. I know I'm greedy. I'm needy. Let's put it there. Let's see. What is it? Okay, we're not touching there. We're not touching there. We are definitely touching there. I don't think we're gonna. All right, so we're gonna have to rethink this whole thing. Well, not the whole thing, but okay. If I'm gonna go anyway, I don't think I want to go that way. I can go this way though. All right, so let's put that there. Pick it back up, because inside of all this stuff. One of these days I'm gonna buy the speed sledgehammer. All right, let's see. Let's get dirt gone. Let's get that. Let's get these barrels up here. Let's get those up here. I think we have more of those. At least I hope. Water tank up here. Those up here. Don't know. I don't really want to free place these, but this is Put that one there. And this one's going to be way over here. I don't like free placing it so hard. Because I don't think these snap to those, right? No. They're just going to snap to the middle of them panels. Some like grid building inside of it. Super awesome. I know. So needy. I guess for now, you wouldn't think it should be this hard, right? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This should be center. Even that, it doesn't center going this way across them. It goes across them. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But yeah, we did 2 spaces here. So if we do that, can I pull up just this one? So now, out of curiosity, I don't think it's going to work how I'm thinking in my head. No, it's going to come over here, but we can free place this now a lot easier. And it may not be perfect, but guess what? It's going to be good enough. Definitely easier to free place, you know, just the tank over all these. All right, I don't know if I have any more or not. If not, then I'll get some more when I go to the store later or whatever. Do you not? Okay. That's fine, though. All right, we'll put these barrels back over here. Like I said, just a little decoration, nothing huge. We'll set this right here on a proper stand. And I think for now, we'll just put that guy there. What else do we have here? These up there, just so we have those in a second. We have another fire extinguisher, so that looks pretty secure right there. And just for now, we'll do that. Just to add a little protection from the... All right, so we have our tank up and running. It's beautiful. That can go there. All right, good enough. All right, let's get this guy going. Which we had you. Like there. We had you down there. Actually, you know what? I don't think we need to do that. I think we can do that, right? Table. I'm gonna have to build a little staircase to get out of down there too, because I'm gonna have to be able to reach that, obviously. All right. Does this show a distance? I thought I remember when it first came out and I was playing with it, didn't seem like it went very far. All this will get reworked once we kind of get more of our permanent looking plant going. Oh my god. All right, so now we should be able to turn this on and this on. If we turn this on, we shouldn't blow anything, right? Beautiful. All right, let's turn you off. We can just leave you on. We don't really matter if that gets turned off or not. All right, so we have our plant back hooked up now with good poles. I think I can go ahead. Let's get all that stuff out of here. I don't really need that light, I don't think. I don't feel like I'm using it for anything. All right, so our excavator's down. All the equipment's down there. You are low on fuel. Let's fill you up. I think we're at max fuel capacity. All right, turn you off. How are you on fuel? You're not too bad at all. How are you on? Not that. All right, so we'll just have to make sure we watch that. Make sure we can get up to the fuel tank before we run out. But if not, we still got to call emergency fuel because we do not have a fuel truck to drive any. I say, let's spend some more time getting this ramp done. I want to zoom our hair more. I guess that'll be the next thing. Once we unlock the next loader and rock truck, is it worth it? Do I skip this tier of loader and truck and excavator? Well, the excavator is probably going to be a go because that's like double, almost double the amount of capacity. So I would say that's a pretty good deal, right? Truck is what, 8-9 more yards. So let's Is that going to hold an extra scoop from this guy? What is this one? This is the 8,000. Let's look here. 8,000. That's 8.5 yards. So that's another yard for either one of those. I mean, I guess if we did it, they're not that expensive. Another yard, another yard. But I guess we'll just have to go down and see what we unlock, obviously, because we know my luck with unlocking what I want. I know I definitely do not want the dozer. I do not want the grader. That would be the worst to get those. Definitely want to get to the rock at some point, hopefully, before we build that asphalt plant in town. I feel like this is a nice grade for this ramp here. Like I said, we're definitely gonna have to go wider. I don't think we need to worry about that at the moment, because this guy will definitely fit down there. I don't have to worry about it for quite some time, to be honest with you. I think we'll do the same thing. I'm not going to bother running this right now. Fill it up a little bit first. I'm also not going to worry about doing the loop. I'm just not ready for it. But yeah, what else do we want? Oh, we want a concrete for, whoops, obviously for the ramps and all that up here, and pavement, stuff like that. And I don't like being zoomed in this far. It feels weird, but definitely want to see me scooping down a little bit, you know? I want to make sure I'm getting a good angle. I feel like I'm already starting to flat out right there, and I don't think I'm ready to yet. One more scoop in there. Come on, baby. how is dirt falling out of my bucket right now in the air? I get it. Not really sure on that. Whatever. I wonder if I didn't look. The other dozer's got to have more horsepower than this guy too, right? Or dozers. Did I say dozers? Loaders. If I didn't. That might be worth it too, just for the same with the truck. It's got more power and climbing power. That might be a good enough reason to upgrade. Drive a little faster, or at least handle the hills better. I wonder if it's just falling off the front because of the slope here. Or lack thereof, I guess. If we get the dozer soon enough, we'll be in business because we'll be able to strip off the top layer up here a lot easier, and we'll be able to get the road built, which will be nice for us to get back and forth. Sadly, like I said, selling to the coal plant might not even really need to be necessary anymore, which I kind of figured might happen, right? Because I'm gonna start making gold off of, or money off of gold and all the other stuff, and with the coal plant coming, we need the coal for ourselves, or we need the coal for making tires or whatever, you know, whatever route goes, even though it might have to go to the city for that. All right, let's try to get a slope going again, because like I said, I feel like I've kind of started flattening out, and I think it's, oh god. Maybe not. Maybe I'm still going down. More scoops and get the roller down there and roll it out, see where we're at. I get that little bit back here. Right here, I feel like I need to do that right there. Definitely have to move that pile out. And I gotta decide. Yeah, we're doing one more. What my depth wants, what I want my depth to be. I want to base it off the loader or the excavator, or kind of like both. because obviously this loader is going to be different than the other loaders that we're going to end up getting. All right, I think we're going to take this up there. We'll just dump this right into the pit and then get fuel and bring it back down. Get the dump truck up here. And we'll flatten out that little ramp so far. So I just find it easier just to flatten it as we go. Keeps the bump from ending up cutting into the ground. We'll have to check that. Well, I guess those don't bleed anymore. They got rid of that issue. But I say issue. It wasn't an issue. People kind of voted for more realism than anything, and then kind of got confused and disappointed that it deleted dirt when it got overpacked. Which I don't think is a problem. I think it just wasn't explained very well, is how I kind of feel about it. I don't think the notes really talked about what it was doing. Talked about making the cement ramp here. I guess we'll have to see the slope on it compared to what I have. If it's a lot steeper, then I might as well leave this road here and I'll just pave over it. But if it's about the same slope, then I think we'll obviously concrete it. To being loaded up. I mean, I tell you what, it's so nice having the fuel there already. Life-changing. All right, let's do that. Let's and stay away from the wall. I think this one here will end up getting big ramp regardless, just make it nice and smooth. So we gotta go down a little bit there. We're still going to build a road from here to the coal plant because we might need it, because we might be putting a coal plant up there and we may have to provide the town power with coal as well. Or if that road over there gets shut down, I don't want to be hindered by anything. Guess we turn you off. Don't need you running. Keep hopping out before I turn on the emergency brake or turn off the engine. I think we're going to zoom in a little bit more on this spot. Oh, I got to get that thing up a little bit too. Like I said, we'll go wider, and that'll be easy to do, I think, especially once we get, even if we don't get concrete, once we get the slope, then we can drive sideways on it, and our bucket should already kind of have the slope that we're wanting. For the most part, I'm sure I'll still screw it up a little bit, but I think we'll do decent. Get on that side. Let's pick up this guy and this one. Part of the problem is we can definitely go deeper because our bucket goes up, but it's gonna be filled up so quick. I don't want to go too deep for our excavator to hit the elevation we're at. Not if we decide to switch and use that, or if the loader breaks down, we have to be able to use the other equipment. Especially if I said we have nothing to do, but if we have nothing to do and need to make sure we're digging. Man, I don't feel like this is very deep. Kind of start going over there. I was kind of opening this up. I think we might call that depth good for now. If I could get my excavator down here, I would. Or if I could buy another one, that way I have two. Which wouldn't hurt, because we do have the one over at that other little, I guess not so little, but spot of iron that we have. We don't have to pull it out of there, then they drive all the way to here. We can keep it there if we decide down the road we want to do make some money there. All right, so yeah, I think we're definitely going to buy the tier 2 of equipment, even though it ain't that much greater. I think we're going to be in it for a while, so I think we might as well. Even if the loader's only one extra yard, 1 yard every scoop, 100 scoops, it's 100 yards. That's a lot. I think it's definitely worth it. We'll definitely get the bigger truck. Probably more powerful. It's going to take the hills better, haul a little bit more. All that will add up. But yeah, I want to start opening up down there. I think, like I said, I'm going to call that depth good for the moment. Even though part of me kind of wants to dig a hole straight down and see. see how far it is to the pay dirt. And I kind of know off the top of my head, but I want to see it because I can go halfway and it's still pretty reasonable. I think that would be a good play. And like I said, we are probably gonna, I'm gonna do a little change. I am gonna probably allow me to be able to put a hopper down here and feed the plant with it. But we might just, like I said, treat that every episode as a 50-50. Broke down or not, you know? And if we have to move it, you know, it's like it's getting kind of far away and we need to move it. You know, we obviously got to pick it up and rebuild it and adjust it. I think it would be down for the whole episode. And if I do it at the end of an episode, then it's down for the next episode. You know, not like I'm gonna be like, oh, okay, let's move this real quick so it's here for next episode. No. It's, I'm either gonna have to move it at the start of an episode and it's down for that entire episode, or at the end of an episode and it's down for the next episode we play. So. And then every episode, just throw a quick 50-50 wheel up there. Does it work? Yes. Does it? does it work? No. Okay. No, it don't work. We can't use it that day. Yes, it does. We can. So I think that, you know, that'll help us, you know, not have to drive all the time, which I don't mind driving. Again, it's just I want to see a little more progress for the series sake. So maybe some episodes will be hauling dirt. There'll be some episodes that will still be hauling dirt, just not as far. And that's, you guys are watching it and you're involved in it. Let me know if you think that's cool or fair or no. Might not even really care. Yeah, so that's what I'm thinking on that. That's at the moment the plan, unless y'all telling me, nah, I don't like that. You just call it all the whole time, and I'll be like, okay, fair enough. Kind of gauge it. Or there's a good chance nobody will say anything because I don't care, and that'll be fine too. I'll just roll with it. I mean, like, what is this? Are we on episode 26 now? And realistically, I've just started my actual, you know, yeah, we've got a hole a little further down where we were getting some coal and stuff to make some money early on, which is going to be part of our pit, but I wasn't really counting that as our pit because we don't have a ramp to it, nothing like that. So we're currently, finally, actually getting a pit in my eyes. Yeah, definitely want the grader. I think I want to play with that. I've used it a little bit here and there. I've never messed with it too much, but I think that might be useful to us. I think an auto leveler would be really cool in it. And I think the dozer should have it too, right? I think, you know, similar to like Roadcraft, you know, you can run over and get a nice flat piece of ground with it. You know, for the most part. If it's a little bumpy, whatever, that's fine. I do believe that the dozer and the grader should have it. If it was just the grader, I'd be fine with that. Still have to. I gotta figure out our power plant for sure. That was a terrible scoop, like it all fell out down there. Definitely gotta figure out where I want our little power plant to go. Do need to do a test and see how far the cables will actually stretch. If they've changed or not. So I felt, like I said, I felt like they were kind of lacking when I did the little, when the, first release, I did a little quick dive look at it. If it is short, that's fine. We'll make it work, but I think it'd be cool to get us like heavy power cable or something and a lot bigger power poles to like run main power. Even if I had to go like to a transformer, I think something like that would be cool. Trying to set up that process. And I don't think that kind of stuff's far-fetched. I mean, how many of you guys play Gold Mining Simulator, right? And honestly, I'm honestly curious, did you guys enjoy setting up the power and the water and, not just the digging part? Because I know I did. Part of me wants to say, yeah, I actually enjoyed the setting up more than the digging. I don't know if that's technically true, but I mean, it's definitely close. I really enjoyed this setup. I wish, obviously, like probably most people, we could move the wash plant around wherever we wanted. Whoa, wrong way. And stuff like that, like the big wash plant, not just a little mobile one, stuff like that. But I find myself like doing that kind of stuff really fun in games. Rust. I played that. Not PvP. I did a little bit, and my cousin, like that we talked about in the past, it just wasn't for me, but I did a lot of PvE, and there was one role-playing server, maybe two, but I enjoyed the electrical, hooking up the plumbing and all that when all that came out. That was a blast. The one server I was the electrician. Now I haven't been in that game in a while, but now I know they got, like pipes and networks and stuff. But I think it would be cool. I think it'd be cool to be able to put some, the big power lines up and high lines and the transformers and get them to the mine. And I think the way it's set up now is perfect. Because right now, if you didn't want to do all that, you just wanted to do this kind of setup here, you can. But if you wanted to do the big lines of the transformer, you also can. So, yeah, I look at it and I think I want that kind of stuff because I hope that, as a community here or even other communities, they have a chance to get in there, especially if we up it to 16 players. I don't know if that's happening. I know from what I understand with Split, they've been kind of doing their own internal testing on it and stuff. I know it's been going pretty well, last I've heard, which is good for us because that means there's a chance we'll get it. And granted, most people don't play this game co-op. right? Or multiplayer. And I don't know if that's because they don't want other people involved, or if people are just shy, or, you know, they don't have a friend that plays it, or, you know, whatever the case might be. But honestly, there are tons, well, I say tons, but there's a bunch of communities that, you know, Discord, you have Split, you have, you know, my community. I'm not comparing all these communities, obviously. You know, you have the devs Discord itself. People always looking for players. And what I've noticed, like even in my own Discord, you know, we're not huge. I think we're coming up to 50 members, pretty close, which is actually really awesome. That's, like I said, everything up to this point so far, especially in the time frame since I've been doing this, has been amazing. It's been cool. I've already met multiple cool people. People that, like, if I quit today and didn't post another video, I would hope that I could still play games. I did that, you know, we did that with my wife's Discord when she was streaming, and I met a couple of people there I still play with it. In fact, you might have watched the video, or at least seen me release it on American Truck with Crazy K. I met him through my wife's stream. He's actually came and visited us last year. He actually flew to Michigan, and we hung out for a few days and had some food. Did some until the giant pumpkin patch zoo thing. Made a trip to Frankenmuth, and we got to see the world's largest Christmas store. Yeah, like, you know, that's that. Dratch, if you're in my Discord, you've probably seen his name pop up. He's the same one. Met him from her stream, so it's awesome. So if you want to play with other people, hop in the Discord. Aaron Mason, that's another Discord I'm in. And, you know, there's people in there playing all the time. I think the hardest thing that like I said, in my Discord, I've noticed is I feel like people are shy, and I don't blame them. I usually am too. I don't talk in a lot of other Discords for the same reason. But if I really look at it, I've met a lot of cool people in Discord and have had a lot of fun with people I've met. So yeah, even if, like, maybe you're not a huge fan of Aaron Mason, or you're not a huge fan of Split, or even me, ideally if you're looking for people, they're better off than me, because like I said, I don't have as many members as them. As long as you know, like them enough, hop in their Discord. Hop in my Discord and throw a message out there. If somebody wants to start a save, or even just wants help. Hey, anybody want help? Or if you need help, hey, anybody want to hop in my door and just mess around? Whatever the case might be. Just worst case is nobody says anything, and you keep playing solo like you've been doing, or best case you do it and you joined, and then, you know, a couple more people join, and we go. I do have the community one still. I went to fire it up, I think a couple of weeks ago now. It's been a rough couple of weeks. But it was last minute, so no one was able to join. But I got that I'll be hopefully firing up too. Always more than welcome to join. Me and the guy from the Discord actually been playing American Truck Sim like almost every night for the last like week and a half. Just cruising around. This weekend coming up, I know the plan is we're going to be playing some Phasmophobia. I'll definitely be recording that and throwing it out. My wife will probably be playing. I don't know if it'll be in all the videos. It just depends on what days we play. If it's a Friday, she might be in it for a little bit. She might not. Might be kind of exhausted from freaking work. But yeah, we're playing just some Phasmophobia, and like I said in the past, if you see me in a game or whatever, or you see me in a channel in Discord, like a voice chat, not like the live now one, which I'll probably change the name of that because it doesn't necessarily mean I'm live. Usually just means I'm recording. It usually means I'm available to, you know, have anybody join in. So if you're in the Discord seeing us playing American Truck and you want to join up, just say so. American Truck is definitely a harder one because we are heavily modded. But I can still menu the mods in the order that we have everything in. You know, because we're running like the Coast to Coast mod, the Mexico, Beyond, so like all the Caribbean islands and Venezuela, stuff like that, and the Canada. So it's a hefty boy. But I've also been playing MotorCon a little bit. That might be something you might be interested if you want to play that. I always start up my game and leave it for friends only and max amount of players. But yeah, do it. But yeah, if you haven't played multiplayer and been on the fence, hop in a Discord. Always people looking, especially I think even in the Auto Or Discord, pretty sure there's a channel dedicated to it, you know, looking for players, looking for group. Especially in this day and age, you know, back when I was a kid, you know, growing up for me, like if you wanted to play with a friend, you had to go to their house. They had to come to your house, you know, like it wasn't none of this, you know, I can connect with my buddy that moved to Japan if I wanted. I don't have a buddy that moved to Japan, just an example. It's just a couple clicks away. It's awesome. As much as online has hurt gaming, I think it also helped gaming. And obviously, the reason I think it hurt gaming is just because before they could easily, you know, hot patch a game or fix it or anything like that, you know, you had to release a game that was already bug free. You know, for the most part, like as bug free as possible. Nothing worse than, you know, making a bunch of cartridges or CDs or DVDs and go through all that work and ship millions of them around the world and then find out that there's a game-breaking bug on it. Yeah, it didn't work that way, you know? There was no way to fix it without all new stuff, so. The internet's helped, but it's also hurt. Now, how many games do you see released that are just terrible? Why? Because they can easily just push a fix out to you. But we don't need to worry about internal testing as much. We'll just sell it for whatever price. 70, 80, 90, 100 bucks. And, oh, it's crappy and buggy? Yeah, we'll fix it here through the 6-month period. I guess at least it gets fixed. I'm not talking about games like early access, like Out of Or, you know. And like I said, even though it doesn't have early access tag, it's back in early access. Like I said, pretty sure from what I understand, the devs had their game and it was early access before, and they got it with what their hopes and or their plans were, and people wanted more, and I think they wanted more too. So I just don't know if you can go back to early access for the game after release. I'm gonna guess not. I guess the only real other option would be is to, you know, Out of Or 2, give a free give a copy to everybody that has Out of Or, and then release it in early access again. Games like this, you know, yeah, I expect there to be bugs. It's a growing game, which is where the internet is cool because they're able to fix games. You know, we're able to get early access titles and have a part in the development of the game. Yeah, I don't know. Either way, all that just to say, if you're in a Discord, Wanna play with someone? Ooh, shout out, worst case. Nobody answered. Best case, you meet some really cool people and have a good time. Yeah, we're definitely putting those. Need to get this little odd shape. Yeah, we're starting to open up a little bit. Starting to look like something, huh? Definitely gotta get down here and try to make sure I get this kind of flat. Yeah, I definitely like to go a little deeper, but I feel like that's a pretty good depth. It's about the top of the cab down there. That gives me a good gauge. I don't think that's definitely not too deep for the excavator. Cause I gotta stop doing like the, max depth with that. 'Cause I think I can probably make stuff a lot better and a lot smoother if I don't do that. If I kind of get close so I can go up and down to level. Alright, let's see where we're at once I smooth this area out down here. Work really hard at making this as flat as possible. I wonder if there's a best practice for like this. Should I like go down the middle first? Should I go on the edge and then work over? I'm not really sure. I've tried a bunch of different, or a couple, all the different kind of ways I can think of. I don't know if any of them is better than the other. But it's gotta be, right? Because it's higher on that side, and I start over there, it's going to bring the left side up, which will then, bring it up all the way across. It's probably a really good best practice for this. Got a little too close. Oh, it's definitely going to be too close. You can see there, it kind of flattens out there, then we down a little bit more. We'll have to adjust as we go. We'll have to adjust, do our best we can. All right, let's go screw this all up. Like right here. At the start of the pay dirt right there, is that what I'm seeing? Yes, it is. Let's go this route. So about 2 of me. Am I down there all the way? And a little less than 2. So yeah, that's a good depth. That depth there should get us 2 cuts down. Like I said, we're gonna start out a lot smaller pit than we planned. You know, obviously this whole thing is all planned, and I don't a lot, which we'll be able to do, but I want to, you know, maybe like here or so. Once we get there, we'll know more and have a better idea. But definitely want to go smaller, and then we can grow it up a little bit bigger. Let's see, and how deep is this? Oh, this is over 2 of me, so we're good on the excavator. It's not too low for that. Ultimately, I feel like, man, it's such a. I feel like the excavator is quicker, like because I can pull the truck down here and just scoop and drop. But sometimes I feel like this is once I open it up and can get the truck down there too. Don't know. We'll do both. So ultimately, yeah, anything we unlock, we're gonna try to buy. We're definitely gonna need to make some money for it, right? Before you know it, we'll probably be up over there doing a little bit of mini mining. We get a bunch of money pooled up in iron and lithium, aluminum, all that stuff. All right, let's empty you out. Back you up over here, out of the way. In case you're broke down next episode. And let's turn you on. Let's turn you on. Now, there's probably not going to be a whole lot of stuff in here. Coal is probably going to be obviously about it. Coal and some hay dirt. I'm just going to throw that in there and let it go right back through. I don't remember. What do we say? What do we have here? 3 times. Okay. Ruby, diamond, coal. Yep, there's the coal. This should be all dirt. I'm really excited to try to get this plant, and I don't know if in my head is possible. But what I'm hoping, I think it'll be really cool. I just want on and off switch. Oh, I'd like a little bit of logic into this power system. Please, just some logic. We don't have to go crazy and ors and OR gates and XOR gate. We don't need all that. Like at least just like a switch. Like, oh, okay, I want this on. Cool. Or if I'm being really greedy and picky, like a switch and a sensor. Are you all guys got something you're doing? Yep. Check on this. Are we still running? I'm assuming. Oh, yeah. Actually, while that's running, let's grab this. Let's go check on our oil well over here. Because we're going to have to start making some more barrels. Gonna need more fuel. Yeah, so we got to build a road up to there. Which I think we were just going to come right through here. Just doze a nice little, single lane road up there. That'll be nice and easy. The one in town, a couple of them will be a little bit harder. All right, there you go. Empty barrels. those out. I'll just stick them in there for now. I don't know what I need out of there, so I'm not going to start anything. Okay, well, should have did that sooner because now it's sitting idle, nothing to do. Good amount of coal right there. I know that. I'm just hoping the pay dirt's underneath is good. Like I said, I don't even think if I got the drill, I don't think we'd be able to drill deep enough to see. You were done. Looks like we can shut you down. Good amount of fuel. Yep, just a little bit of coal. This is a lot of dirt, which we kind of already knew. We're going to be getting a lot of dirt moving forward. All right, cool. I feel actually pretty good with that. I feel like we get a pretty decent hole down there. I think we got some pretty good plans set in place. I guess next episode we will just look at what we got unlocked and where we want to go from there and what breakdown we have or what kind of debuff is going to screw us over. But yeah, that should do it. Thank you so much for watching, especially if you made it all the way through. It means a lot to me. It helps out a lot. If you like the video, hit the like button for me. If you want to leave a comment below, anything we talked about or anything that I said in here, let me know. And even if it's just an emoji, anything, just a smiley face, a wave, anything helps out a ton. And if you haven't hit the subscribe button for me, it really helps us out and grows the channel. Thank you for all the support so far up to this point. It's been amazing. Discord's in the description. And I hope you have a wonderful night, day, evening, morning. Hope to see you next video. Bye.